Hey, I'm here to give you feedback. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to DM me directly or ping me in your RIP thread. I'm going to go over this run a little bit differently just because it is a little bit of a longer run, and because of that, that kind of hints towards like this is a beginner level run. So instead of, giving stuff that you already know, I'm just going to give you like general helpful beginner guidelines, I suppose. I see the shipwreck here. Did you see this kelp? Oh man, there's some sick kelp right there. Going for this rune portal is not good for two reasons. One bigger than the other. Like, the bigger reason is that it's just incorrect routing. Because, like, the entire point of your overworld is to get all the resources that you need and then go into the nether as fast as you can. So, in order to get to the nether, you obviously need iron. And if you get all of your iron from this ruined portal, that's, like, really rare. But this shipwreck is a lot better for that, obviously, right? So, in going for this right now, it just doesn't make a ton of sense when the point of the run is to go this way. The other reason is, like, as you progress on, rune portals are just less and less good, unless they're, like, overlapped with the ravine. This one's kind of far away, but it is on your line, so given that your PB is, like, plus 30, essentially, this is totally fine to get because the extra gold blocks that you could get at rune portals when they're linear, can be good. Obviously the gold armor, obviously lights and stuff like that as well. So I don't actually hate you going for this rune portal in general. However, going for it now is the misplay for runners of your level. I can't remember where I saw this. If I find it, I'll link it to you. But there's this like crafting graphic that I could link to you. Basically, right now you have effectively 10 iron with obviously 8 in ingots, 1 in nuggets, and then 1 as a light, right? So because of that, what I would actually recommend would be for 3 of them to become your iron pick, obviously, another 3 to become your bucket, 1 to become a shovel, and then 2 to become your shears, right? So that way you can just make a stone axe and like continue on the run, like with more blocks. Shears are obviously, or like could be really good for getting blocks, and as your PB is such like a large number, since it is so long, like really getting enough blocks to traverse like nethers with bastions in them will be more and more critical. Again, for the time slot, checking the map there is actually really good, because if it's right on you, you need it. Grabbing 3 logs there isn't like ideal, just because you can just make your axe anyway, right? Or you could just like go up and make your axe. And also iron axe here is, well, I guess what you craft here is okay. I think that shears is just more correct than iron axe. It's just kind of like future-proofing your nethers. There's a concept in a couple of coaching circles that I run in, of like potential versus kinetic time loss, right? So like an example of kinetic time loss is just like running the wrong way, right? But potential time loss could be like forgetting wood in the overworld, for example. And also grabbing leaves is that potential time loss, because if you just have like a really big nether, you can now no longer bridge, or you have to get your blocks by getting wood, which is just slower as well. I'm not going to really give feedback. Well, I guess I will. I'm not going to really give feedback on like the amount of wood that you grab, just because, you know, it is a lot, honestly. And if that's how many explosives that you need, like, it's important, you know. And you could just be grabbing it for you know, blocks reasons. Oh man. You boat like really far here comparative to that other stuff, and it's fake. Oh no, you send this? I mean, let's see if it plays off. You just had much better looking kelp earlier. It's probably a good thing that you stopped this. Oh, yep, now you're going to it. I think there's some better stuff over here. I don't know if video compression will like not have this be seen, I guess. Oh no, it's like kind of seen here. You see how there's this like lingering piece of kelp like right here? That is generally like a good sign that your ravines are, you know, deep enough for you to make portals with. Learn how to bucket drain this. You basically just like spam the bucket on this left side of the portal, like per block. Also, definitely get into the habit of E-raying, like pausing on this dimension load, so that way the mobs, such as like specifically zombie pigmen, don't interfere with your bastion, right? So like the ideal nether is to just spawn on or near the bastion, right? However, if you don't pause on this dimension load, your like zombie pigs could just immediately flood your bastion, which isn't good, obviously. And it looks like you have one. The other good thing about like pausing on dimension load, especially with F3 open, is you can just really easily tell if this is a bastion or not. For example, I would kind of be leery. Like, obviously, I'd still go for it because this is a good-looking spike. Well, actually, MNC is 93. This is 124. Obviously, this is real. But this is also like a good-looking spike in that direction. However, I would also be leery about it because you are in Crimson, and this could just be like super fake, right? And I'm confused. Oh, you just see it's walled here. Never mind. Good terrain nav decision. If you were getting wood to get blocks earlier, you're definitely overgrabbing some blocks now. Obviously, if you're getting these if you have so much wood for beds, like, you're just fine. And also, like, conserving damage as much as you can. Oh dear. Conserving damage as much as you can, just throughout the run, really, is, like, a good idea. Also, oh man. Well, let's see it. What's in the inventory? Okay, so in this, rotten flesh is, like, really actually good for filler food. Like, yes, you have a lot of hearts down. Part of that is your own doing of, like, taking unnecessary damage. However, golden carrots are, like, the best food. So eating 2 carrots there, one, like, isn't good because, like, again, this is, like, the potential of golden carrots, right? So golden carrots actually heal as, like, twice as much saturation, 1.5 bars versus 3, and also have that effect called saturation. And saturation is the thing that, like, quick heals you, right? So essentially, you've just eaten 2 golden carrots and didn't really get any healing from it, and you're still down hunger bars. Versus rotten flesh, which is really common in ships or desert temples or whatever if you play ranked, which I also recommend doing as a beginner. Like, it's important that you, like, if, like, the play here is just to fill your hunger bar, rotten flesh is actually really good for that. And also we have a bridge bastion. I'm curious to see how you route this, especially in the beginning. And learn, like, bridge routing and, like, really practice it and become comfortable with it. I think I saw a fort there, but I'm on 1.5 times, so I'm not totally sure, but, you know. Oh, and the, like, other reason why the carrots thing was kind of a silly misplay was because this is a bridge bastion, and bridge just by far and away has the most, like, linear gold at any given run, so. Like, making golden carrots, like, here is actually really, really good. So, yeah, this bastion, or right now, you don't have a triple chest, which is, like, oh no, you're not sending this, are you? Yeah, learn bastion routes. If this wall right here, like, when you mine it just none, and it has netherrack on the other side, this is not a good side of the bastion to try and do any type of route on. You'll see real quick that for the amount of gold that you're trading, you'll have, like, no pigs. It would be better to go and check the other side, or, like, have even a third bastion route for this bastion, so that way you can just, like, future-proof, like, just having 2 bad chests, right? Also, toggling hard would just get this guy down here. I think. Yeah, no, it just would. Oh no, you just ate another one. So now we're at 4.5 versus 9. So, like, we're just gapping the food here. And we make the gold carrot. Nice. I would honestly be checking the other side of the bastion for like better stuff potentially. Also, whenever you throw out gold on the block that you're standing on, you'll just immediately pick it up. So. And also when you elevate it like that, you'll also start to pick up the gold again. Doing quartz blocks like this isn't that good for a couple of reasons. One, you just get better, like you just get a ton of solid blocks. Like there's two arguments to make it, right? One, solid blocks, and two, hard blocks, right? So, or just having like more blocks in general, right? And for all three of those, actually, quartz is just not that good. So if you want blocks in general, you just get a ton of gravel from trading in bastions. So if you want to like run or tower up more effectively, gravel is just the best solution for that. If you want hard blocks, so that way you can bridge or block clutch with, soul sand is actually a really good option for that. I think a lot of people hate on soul sand more than they should, especially at this level. Soul sand is totally fine as a block, especially with the soul speed that you're likely to get in bastions. It's actually really quick. And then the third one would be hard blocks for things like blaze bedding, right? And quartz is not a good block for that because it's actually not that hard, right? So crafting quartz here, like quartz is just like a throwaway block essentially. The more you suffocate your pigs, the more likely they are to die, and the more likely you need to like find a new trading hole. I think one thing that I'll just say for beginner runs in general is you literally cannot learn enough about bastions for like any of that knowledge to not be applicable in a run at some point. Like mining here is like super suboptimal, especially if you don't know where the chest is. So it's in your best interest to learn how to get this chest, in a more quick way. Also, if you didn't see the fortress already, it would be a good idea to Pydar. If you need guides for that, if you need guides for that, just let me know in the comments. You have another chest behind you. Get it. I could have a lot of obsidian. You don't actually have to kill these guys. You can just punch them and then they'll stop bugging you. I think one of the things that like a lot of beginners like really get stun locked by is just like food management in general. And for that reason, I would definitely like just learn how to like not take as much damage. Typically, by the way, the slow decision will just like end up costing more food. It is more conservative, of course. However, like the way that you killed these hogs is kind of slow and will then just be like more food intense. I did see the fort. Look at that. Definitely think about how you're arranging your hotbar as well. This seems kind of unorganized, and like you don't need a crafting table for going to a fortress. You probably don't need a lava bucket either, so it's just like, yeah. Also utilizing your offhand slot for stuff like food, super useful as well. Ooh. I can link a video on how to route fortresses from the bad side. But essentially it's three things, right? That like indicate which way the like spawners are, right? So one of them would be balconies. So balconies will always point towards the lava room, which is kind of like a nexus point between the good and the bad side of the fort. So running towards them is always incorrect because they point, like this balcony, like this lip here points towards the lava room, right? So this is just not correct. The other one that we'll see here in a second is staircases. So staircases will always go up. The further you are away from the lava room and the good side of the fortress where the spawners are, like the stairs will always just go up. So the lower you are, the worse you are in the fortress. Checking these chests here, especially when you have the enough obsidian, I think, but checking those chests there for diamonds for a diamond sword actually isn't like horrible as well. Oh, and then the third thing here is these rooms as well with the warped, or not warped, like the nether wart, are very similar to the balconies, by the way. As like they'll all like these stairs will always head down. So it's important. Oh, and then you just kind of wormhole it, I guess. But like this is still going away from the start, like the origin of the fortress. And I'm pretty sure that's, by the way, just the origin. Nope, that's just another room. I lied. Yeah, it just seems like your biggest weaknesses as a runner are how to route the structures. So for that reason, I can link whichever guide you need to for like your learning ability. This is still more bad side as well. Oh, and then you just find it like that. Yeah, definitely learn how to deal with fortresses and stuff. Also, you can generally just ignore skeletons. Learning how to deal with withers is also a skill. Generally, if you want to build up like that, you should do it on this lower part of the fortress. You can also drop down here. Like, I don't think that this guy could get you. And it's more important that you hit him than, like, you not getting hit. Because you're going to blind and you can heal here in a second. Critting blazes using the diamond sword is, like, faster, but also, like, less intuitive, I suppose. And is also just better if you use the diamond sword. Like, crit with the diamond sword. Clearing out spawners like this, spawners are actually like really poorly designed as a part of the game. Like clearing out the bottoms of the spawners or even exploding a bed in a technique called blaze bedding, which I can also link, would be better, so that way you can free up more spawning space. I'll link you that resource to blaze bedding if you'd like. But at least mining out the bottom of the spawner is like also super important. So that way you can just get more blazes. And also standing further back, yeah, cool. Also standing further back while it's waiting like this, because you may invalidate spawning space by just having your player model there. Nice. Do we have a calculator? We do. Definitely have this open up before you start. And also definitely update this. We're at actually 1.4.2. Yeah, definitely update your Ninja Brain bot. There's a lot of like F3C. Also, if you're going to be using anything technical in MCSR, learn how to do it before you run, for sure. And practice it, because calculators like this are actually like kind of important that you know how to use it correctly. Yeah, definitely watch some guides on eye measuring as well. And also, yeah. Also, there's a technique called death resetting that you should look into learning. When you have low health like this, there's actually ways to like strategically die, and like not waste the run. Also, if you're low on food, like one of the things that you need to be constantly thinking about is how to get more. For example, in this overworld, there are chickens. Like you could totally use your fire charges and cook them. And then the other animal that I think I might have actually seen a pig over here. Obviously, the same theory applies with pigs. But the other food source that I see here is actually the fish in the ocean. If you get rid of the lava bucket and get your water and get a water bucket instead, you can actually catch the fish like that and then cook them on land using the same flint and steel technique. Either way, coming back here on such low health is definitely a misplay. And so it's like re-entering the nether. Not sure why you did that. Hoglins also have super weird reach, so soul sand like that will kill you as well if you're not like up high enough, I suppose. But yeah, in terms of the run in total, like just learning like how to speed run Minecraft in general, it's like very different from just playing it. So for that reason, I would recommend doing a couple of things. One would be going onto this YouTube channel and learning from other beginner level runs that are perhaps a little bit faster than yours. So that way you can just like look at the general route and then also hear other people's feedback on like what is a misplay and what isn't a misplay. And then the other stuff that you could do would be like just watch a lot of tutorials, which I'm more than happy to provide. And the ones that I would recommend learning are bastion guides for all 4 of the bastions, how to route fortresses, and how to get more blazes in general, because that's the challenge of fortresses. And then, like, really how to use the calculator. Yeah, I think that... Oh, and, like, the other big thing is, like, food consumption, which is just, like, learning how to maximize it by, like, matching, like, your hunger with your, like, the hunger bars with your health and, like, learning that kind of balance. I can show you a little bit what I'm talking about, but that's definitely more nuanced. Definitely, like, learning, like, how to, like, fill your hunger bars more and just, conserving food for when you really do need it.